Hey warriors, every night, before the world grows quiet and the lights turn off, we're left alone with our thoughts. And it is in this quiet space between exhaustion and sleep that the real dialogue with ourselves begins. Most people drift into sleep carrying the weight of regret, unanswered questions, and tomorrow's worries. But what if we could end the day differently? What if, instead of letting worries dominate, we filled our nights with words that heal, strengthen, and guide us? The Stoics, ancient thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, understood this well. They practiced evening reflection, reviewing their day, reminding themselves of truths that would keep them strong, calm, and wise. And this is not some old philosophy locked in books. It is alive, practical, and deeply human. Between the ages of 20 and 55, life often feels like a storm, chasing careers, building families, facing losses, carrying responsibilities. It is easy to lose yourself. That's why what you tell yourself every night matters. It shapes how you wake up tomorrow. Think of it like this: your mind is soil, and every thought you plant before sleep is a seed. Plant fear, and you'll wake with anxiety. Plant strength, and you'll wake with courage. Plant gratitude, and you'll wake with peace. As the Stoic teacher Epictetus said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. So tonight, I'll share with you 10 powerful life lessons to tell yourself every night. These are not clichés, not empty lines, but real reflections, practical reminders, and timeless wisdom that can anchor you in the middle of life's noise. Before we dive in, I want you to promise yourself something. Do not just listen to these lessons, live them. Reflect on them. Repeat them silently as you lay in bed. Let them sink into your heart. If you find these lessons meaningful, make sure to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Drop this in the comments. I plant seeds of strength every night. Now let's begin. Number 1. You are responsible for your life. When the day ends and you are lying in silence, remind yourself, I am responsible for my life. Not your parents, not your boss, not your partner, not fate. You. This doesn't mean you control everything. Life is full of unexpected storms, illness, loss, rejection, unfairness. But what you always own is your response. The Stoics believed this is where true power lies. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about it. So much of our suffering comes from blaming others or waiting for someone else to change. We say, if only my job was better, I'd be happy. Or, if only people treated me differently, I'd feel respected. But here's the truth. You cannot build your life on conditions you don't control. What you can build on is your actions, your choices, your discipline. At age 20, responsibility feels heavy. At age 35, it feels urgent. And by 55, it feels like the difference between peace and regret. Responsibility is not a burden, it is freedom. When you own your choices, you stop being a victim of life. You stop saying, why is this happening to me? And start saying, what can I do about it? Imagine two people facing the same problem, a failed relationship. One blames their ex forever, carries resentment, and lives in bitterness. The other takes responsibility, learns from the mistakes, grows in wisdom, and moves forward. The same event, but two completely different outcomes because of one thing: responsibility. Every night, tell yourself this truth. My life is in my hands. Repeat it until you believe it. When you wake tomorrow, act from that belief. Small steps add up. Choosing to exercise instead of scroll, choosing to save instead of waste, choosing to speak kindly instead of angrily. Over weeks, months, years, this becomes your life story. And here's the secret. When you take responsibility, you also take back your dignity. You stand taller. You stop begging the world for permission to live well. You no longer wait for luck. You create opportunities through effort. Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." Responsibility means daring. Daring to face life with open eyes, daring to accept the weight of your choices, daring to become the author of your own destiny. So tonight, as you close your eyes, remind yourself, I am not powerless. I may not control everything, but I control myself. And that is enough to change my life. Number 2, time is your real wealth. Every night before sleep, whisper this truth to yourself. Time is my greatest wealth. Money can be lost and earned again. Opportunities can disappear and return. Even health can sometimes be restored. But time, once it slips from your hands, can never come back. The Stoics were deeply aware of this. Seneca wrote on the shortness of life. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Think about how many hours vanish every week, scrolling endlessly, gossiping, procrastinating, worrying about things outside our control. Those hours don't just disappear, they carve out chunks of your life that you will never get back. At age 20, time feels infinite. At 30, you start to sense its speed. At 40, you wonder where the last decade went. And by 55, you see clearly that every day is precious. That's why you must learn to treat time like a sacred currency. Ask yourself each night, did I spend today well? Did I invest in something meaningful? Or did I waste it on things that do not matter? This doesn't mean you need to be productive every minute. Rest, laughter, and simple joys are also valuable investments. The difference is whether your time brings life to your spirit or drains it. Watching the sunset with someone you love is not wasted time, but hours lost comparing your life to strangers online. That's time stolen. Time is not just about length, it's about depth. Some people live 80 years but only truly live for 10 of them. Others live 40 years but fill those years with presence, courage, and purpose. The depth of your life depends on how consciously you use your time. Each night, reflect. If today was my last day, would I be proud of how I spent it? That reflection changes everything. It pushes you to value conversations with your parents, to show up fully in your work, to pursue the dream you keep postponing. It also helps you let go of small annoyances, because in the bigger picture, they are not worth your limited time. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to free you. When you know your time is limited, you stop wasting it on pettiness. You start focusing on what truly matters: love, growth, courage, kindness, contribution. So every night, whisper this lesson to yourself: I will guard my time as my greatest treasure, because how you spend your days is how you spend your life. Write it below and remind yourself daily, my time is my true wealth. Number 3, let go of what you cannot control. When your head touches the pillow, tell yourself, I release what I cannot control. So much of our suffering comes from holding on to things outside our hands. We worry about other people's opinions, about tomorrow's uncertainties, about outcomes we cannot fully shape. And yet every night the truth remains the same. There are things you can control and things you cannot. Your peace depends on knowing the difference. Epictetus taught this as the foundation of Stoic thought. Some things are in our control and others not. Our opinions, our choices, our desires, these are ours. Our body, our possessions, the actions of others, these are not truly ours. Think about the relief this brings. If someone misunderstands you, that's not in your control. If tomorrow brings unexpected challenges, that's not in your control. If time changes people you love, that's not in your control. What is in your control? How you respond, with patience or anger, with wisdom or foolishness, with love or bitterness. At age 20, this truth saves you from chasing approval. At 30, it saves you from endless stress about the future. At 40, it saves you from bitterness about the past. And at 55, it brings peace, because you finally realize that control is not power, but freedom. Imagine carrying 2 bags each day. One bag is full of things you can control, your effort, your words, your discipline, your attitude. The other bag is full of things you cannot control. The weather, people's choices, fate's surprises. Most of us drag both bags, exhausting ourselves. But the wise person carries only the first bag and leaves the second on the ground. When you lie in bed, review your day. Did I waste energy fighting what I couldn't change? Did I try to control people instead of myself? Did I spend my mental strength on the storm or on steering my own ship? These questions help you release the weight you don't need to carry. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you stop hurting yourself over things beyond you. If a storm comes, you cannot stop the rain, but you can prepare your roof, you can light a candle, you can share warmth with someone inside. That is control enough. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Most of the pain we feel is not from life itself, but from our resistance to it. By letting go, you don't become passive. You become lighter, freer, ready to face tomorrow with energy instead of exhaustion. So tonight, tell yourself, I did what I could. I let go of what I couldn't, and that is enough. This one reflection can ease your heart, relax your body, and carry you into a peaceful sleep. Number 4, gratitude turns ordinary days into riches. Each night before sleep takes you, whisper, I am grateful for what I have. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It's about training your eyes to see blessings where others see nothing. The Stoics believed this practice was the secret to inner peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. And if this is true in the morning, it is just as powerful at night." Gratitude doesn't mean life is perfect. It doesn't mean you ignore struggles. It means that even inside difficulties, you notice light. If you had food today, you are richer than millions. If you had someone to talk to, you are not alone. If your body carried you through another day, you are blessed beyond words. At age 20, gratitude protects you from envy. At 35, it reminds you to value what you've built. At 50, it gives peace when life doesn't look like the picture you once imagined. Gratitude transforms your perspective and with it, your reality. Think of it this way. 2 people can live the same day. One focuses only on what went wrong, traffic, deadlines, disappointments. The other focuses on what went right, the kindness of a stranger, a meal enjoyed, a moment of laughter. The day was the same, but the life experience was completely different. That is the power of gratitude. When you practice gratitude at night, you calm your mind. Instead of replaying mistakes, you count blessings. Instead of anxiety about tomorrow, you anchor yourself in what is already good. Gratitude prepares your heart to sleep in peace and to wake with energy. Seneca once said, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." Gratitude makes you humble, but it also makes you strong. Because when you're grateful, You stop feeling poor in life. You realize you already have more than enough to carry on. So tonight, before closing your eyes, recall 3 things you are grateful for today. They don't have to be grand. Even the smallest things, like the softness of your pillow, the sound of laughter, or a lesson learned, are treasures. Gratitude, after all, is not about size, it's about awareness. Every night say, I am rich in gratitude, because gratitude turns ordinary days into extraordinary ones, and ordinary lives into blessed ones. Number 5. Progress is more important than perfection. As the night grows quiet, tell yourself, I am making progress, not chasing perfection. Perfection is a trap. It whispers that you're never good enough, that your work is flawed, that your body, your choices, your life must be flawless before you can feel worthy. But perfection doesn't exist, not in nature, not in people, not in life. What exists is progress. What matters is movement. The Stoics were not perfectionists, they were realists. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery is not about being perfect. It is about discipline, persistence, and improvement over time. At 20, perfectionism can paralyze you. You're afraid to start because you fear mistakes. At 30, it can make you doubt yourself at work or in relationships. At 40 or 50, it can fill you with regret because you never dared enough, waiting for the perfect moment. But progress, small, steady progress, creates real change. Think of water carving stone. It's not power that shapes the rock, but persistence. Day by day, drop by drop, change happens. The same is true in your life. A small daily habit, reading 10 minutes, exercising 20 minutes, saving a little money, creates transformation over years. Perfection says all or nothing. Progress says step by step. Which one is kinder? Which one is realistic? Which one gives you a future you can actually hold? When you lie in bed, reflect. Did I take even one step forward today? Maybe you spoke kindly instead of angrily. Maybe you resisted one temptation. Maybe you learned one new thing. These are victories. They matter. They count. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, don't wait to become perfect. Start practicing goodness now, in small, imperfect steps. Progress frees you from self-criticism. It allows you to celebrate effort, not just outcomes. It teaches you that failure is not the opposite of growth, but part of it. Each mistake is not proof of weakness, it's proof that you're moving. When perfection no longer controls you, you also find peace. You realize that tomorrow doesn't demand a perfect version of you. It just asks for a better one. So tonight, let go of the pressure to be flawless. Tell yourself, I am moving forward. I am not who I was yesterday. I may stumble, but I am still on the path. And that is enough. Let's fill the comments with this reminder. I choose progress over perfection. Number 6. Your mind is your strongest fortress. Every night as you prepare to rest, remind yourself, my mind is my strongest fortress. Life is unpredictable. You can lose money, people may betray you, health may weaken, and circumstances can collapse in an instant. But there is one place that can remain unshaken if you protect it, your mind. The Stoics often compared the mind to a citadel, a fortress that no enemy could conquer unless you surrendered it. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your mind is where every battle begins. Fear, hope, doubt, resilience, peace. If your mind is weak, even small problems can break you. But if your mind is strong, even great storms cannot destroy you. That's why you must guard what enters it. At 20, your mind is vulnerable to influence. You absorb ideas, expectations, comparisons. At 35, your mind is pressured by responsibilities and the noise of society. At 50, your mind can be weighed down by regrets and fears about the future. That is why, at every stage, you must protect your mental fortress. How? By choosing carefully what you feed your thoughts. Don't give your mind endless negativity, arguments, gossip, social media wars. Instead, feed it wisdom, reflection, gratitude, silence, books, deep conversations. Just like your body weakens with junk food, your mind weakens with junk thoughts. Every night, ask yourself, did I guard my mind today, or did I let everything invade it? This reflection makes you aware of what you must release. Seneca once wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." That means most pain is born inside your mind. But the good news is, you can train it, discipline it, strengthen it. Think of your mind as a muscle. The more you practice calm, the stronger it grows. The more you practice focus, the sharper it becomes. The more you practice resilience, the tougher it stands. And when you build this fortress, the outside world may shake, but you remain steady. So tonight, whisper to yourself, my peace depends on my mind, my freedom depends on my mind, and I choose to guard it well. Strengthen your mindset by writing this below. My mind is my strongest fortress. Number 7. Character is greater than reputation. Before you fall asleep, remind yourself, my character matters more than my reputation. Reputation is what others think of you. Character is who you truly are. Reputation changes like the wind. Today, people may praise you. Tomorrow, they may criticize you. But your character is yours. It follows you wherever you go, even when no one is watching. The Stoics placed immense value on inner integrity. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." In other words, decide who you want to be, and then live in alignment with that choice, regardless of what people say. At 20, reputation feels like everything. You crave approval, likes, recognition. At 35, you realize reputation can be fragile. One rumor, one mistake, and it changes. By 50, you see clearly. Reputation fades, but character remains. It is your true wealth. Character is built through daily choices, keeping promises, speaking truth, acting with kindness, standing firm in your values. Reputation may open doors, but character keeps them open. Reputation may bring applause, but character brings respect, the kind that lasts. Think about this. The world often rewards the appearance of goodness, not goodness itself. But when you lay in bed at night, you cannot lie to yourself. You know if you lived honestly. You know if your actions matched your words. That quiet knowledge is worth more than any applause. Seneca once wrote, "What is the good of having a fine house if you have not got a tolerable character to put in it?" This means your outer success means nothing if your inner self is weak or corrupted. Each night, reflect. Did I act in line with my values today? Did I keep my word? Did I choose integrity over convenience? These questions are not about judgment. They are about growth. They help you see where you must strengthen your character tomorrow. When you prioritize character over reputation, you free yourself. You no longer live as a prisoner of others' opinions. You live authentically, rooted in values, not vanity. And over time, your reputation naturally aligns with your character. But even if it doesn't, you remain at peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This is character, simple and pure. So tonight, tell yourself, I will not chase approval. I will build character. Because in the end, reputation is written by others, but character is written by you. Number 8. Forgiveness frees you more than others. As the night closes in, whisper to yourself, I release through forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. People think it means excusing the wrongs others have done or forgetting the pain they've caused. But forgiveness is not about them. It's about you. It's about setting yourself free from the heavy chains of anger, resentment, and bitterness. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you hold on to hatred, you let the offender live rent-free inside your mind. They may move on with their life while you carry their actions like poison in your blood. Forgiveness breaks that poison. At 20, forgiveness saves you from wasting your youth on grudges. At 35, it prevents bitterness from hardening your heart. At 50, it allows you to live lighter without the burden of old wounds. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation with everyone. Sometimes the person is too toxic, too harmful to bring back into your life. Forgiveness simply means you no longer allow their actions to own your peace. You let go, not for them, but for you. Think of your heart as a cup. If it is filled with anger, there is no room for love, peace, or joy. By forgiving, you empty out the poison and make space for something better. Seneca once wrote, "How much better to heal than seek revenge." Revenge feels strong at first, but it weakens you over time. Healing, however, strengthens you because it means you have chosen freedom over bondage. So, every night, review your day. Did I hold on to resentment today? Did I replay old wounds? Did I allow anger to control me? If yes, release it. Whisper, I forgive, not because they deserve it, but because I deserve peace. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it transforms your present and shapes a lighter tomorrow. Release the weight, declare it in the comments. I forgive to set myself free. Number 9, tomorrow is not promised. Live today fully. Before you drift into sleep, tell yourself, tomorrow is not promised. I will live today fully. Life is fragile. We walk each day as if we own decades ahead, yet no one has a guarantee. The Stoics practiced memento mori, the remembrance of death, not as something dark, but as a reminder to live more vividly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." At 20, this truth gives urgency. You stop wasting youth on fear. At 35, it reminds you to prioritize what truly matters, not endless busyness. At 55, it makes every day sacred. When you reflect at night, ask, if today was my last, did I live it with presence? Did I speak my heart? Did I honor what matters most? This isn't meant to bring fear, but focus. It shifts your energy away from trivial complaints and back toward love, kindness, courage, and joy. Think of how many people postpone life. I'll travel one day. I'll say sorry one day. I'll start my dream one day, and then life passes, and one day never comes. The reminder that tomorrow is not promised is not depressing. It is liberating. It pushes you to live now. Seneca said, "While we wait for life, life passes." Don't wait. Don't hold back your laughter, your kindness, your courage. Spend your time on what matters, because time is the one resource you cannot reclaim. So tonight, as you close your eyes, whisper, I have today. I lived it. And that is enough. If you wake tomorrow, it's a gift. If not, you lived fully, and that is a victory no one can take from you. Number 10, inner peace is the greatest success. As you drift to sleep, remind yourself, my peace is my greatest success. We live in a world obsessed with external achievements, money, titles, possessions, recognition, but none of these guarantee happiness. Some people have everything by the world's standards and yet live restless, empty lives. Others live simply but radiate deep peace. The Stoics knew true success was not measured outside, but inside. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control, and freedom of mind, freedom of spirit, that is inner peace." At 20, peace gives clarity in chaos. At 35, it keeps you grounded in the race of career and family pressures. At 55, it becomes the crown jewel of a life well lived. Peace is not the absence of problems. It is the ability to remain calm within them. It is choosing stillness when the world shouts, choosing patience when anger tempts, choosing acceptance when circumstances hurt. Ask yourself nightly, did I protect my peace today, or did I trade it for things that do not matter? Maybe you argued over something small, or let envy disturb you, or worried about things outside your control. These are trades of peace for nothing. The wise protect peace as their highest treasure. Seneca once wrote, "A man is as unhappy as he has convinced himself he is." Peace begins with the mind. When you realize external things cannot shake you unless you let them, you become unbreakable. So, each night, center yourself, breathe deeply, let go of noise, and tell yourself, "My peace is my wealth, my calm is my success." And when you live from this truth, you live truly rich. Now we have reached the end of these reflections, the 10 powerful life lessons to tell yourself every night. Let's take a moment to breathe, to hold them close. Responsibility, time, letting go, gratitude, progress, mind, character, forgiveness, living fully, inner peace. Each one is not just an idea but a practice, something to carry into your nights and your days. The Stoics believed that philosophy was not about words, but about life. It was not something to read, but something to live. And these lessons, if you speak them nightly, if you let them sink into your heart, they can reshape the way you see yourself, the way you live, and the way you love. Between the ages of 20 and 55, life pulls you in many directions. It can be loud, overwhelming, full of demands. But the night gives you a pause, a chance to come back to yourself, to plant seeds of wisdom in your mind, and to prepare for a better tomorrow. Use it well. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do, say, and think. This is the core of all these lessons. Live with awareness, with courage, with gratitude, with peace. Do not waste your nights in regret. Do not waste your mornings in distraction. Life is too short and too precious. So as you leave this video, I invite you, choose one lesson tonight and live it tomorrow. Repeat it in your heart until it becomes part of you. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, subscribe to the channel, and leave your affirmations in the comments. Your engagement helps this wisdom reach more people who might be searching for peace. Remember, your nights are sacred. Guard them, use them. End each day with wisdom, and you will begin each morning with strength.